Sorry, guys.
Okay.
doing
No,
what?
no,
I
just
don't
to
wanna
check.
I'm having too much fun. Damn it.
Late tea.
Okay, we are live, I think, mates.
Are we? Sweet. Hi, everybody.
Right.
How's
What's
it
up,
going, everyone?
everybody?
I think we're waiting for Heffy to load up. Is he doing the slides?
Seems so.
Hefe?
Oh,
Did we
just
lose his
gonna-
mic again?
Hefe?
I know he had problems on, over the weekend with the mic. Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties. In the meantime, Tito's going to sing for you.
Really?
Hit it, Tito.
No, if I sing, you will not be able to complain about drafts anymore. It's going to be raining for the whole week.
Oh, I just figured my ears would bleed, and that would be it. I
That
mean,
way we don't have to do political conversations over Thanksgiving.
oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Did you guys see my turkey with the Trump wig? He's gonna make Thanksgiving great again. I loved it. I was laughing my ass off.
I think that one I like it was from Tesser. Yeah, that has one that is Obama's women saying that this guy Trump has kicked her out of the house or something like that. It was funny.
Oh yeah, the Trumps are kicking a black family out of public housing. I saw that one. I chuckled. There's some good memes. I love the Biden ones, man. The Biden ones are freaking hilarious. But Hefe, man, you're gonna either, something's going on. Either that or go up to the next slide and we'll make Tito host. I vote for
The problem
that.
is that you cannot swap the host.
Yeah,
You
but you
should-
talk.
Well,
Yeah,
it
but
says
you
how they
talk while
starting. It says how they starting in chat, but it's an
No, we
Tim.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't. No, nobody can hear me. Why don't you write it in the admin chat, man? I'm so sorry, everybody. We really are trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not entirely sure what is going on. Hey,
I am
Brian.
here
Yeah,
to
because
See,
Hello,
this
ma'am.
is what happens.
What's up,
I'm
Brian?
texting to
Hey, Brian.
Hey,
This is
Brian.
what
I'm
happened.
texting to him, but for some reason he's not even answering. I don't know if it's all his computer that has frozen.
This is what happens
that looks like the
Whenever
slide.
George hands
Does
out white
anybody
whiskey.
have the slides?
They're
have the
live
slides.
on
Looks like
stream
they're
right
up
now.
already.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
up.
he's got the first one up.
I'm saying, does anybody else have the slides?
Nope.
Okay, he's
I
actually
have
gonna start
them.
the slides. All right, he's going to start the slides. Tito, you're going to, I guess, go with it, man.
Okay.
Ooh, I like her.
Mm.
And she's working on a car. I mean, hot damn. That's a winner for me. Sorry, go ahead. Tito, you're up, man.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Battle Clip Show. Tonight we have a huge grid over here of people that is going to talk about about the new releases. And first of all, we are going to introduce them all for any of you that still don't know them. Well, I'm going to go in the order I see them from left to right. First, we have Nines.
How's it going, everyone?
Then we have Ryan helping us today, I guess, with some numbers.
I am here unexpectedly. The class got canceled today, so I can actually make the Wednesday show.
Yeah,
You're welcome
well,
anytime you want.
Wednesday's not usually open mic, but it is tonight. So if anybody
Guess
wants to
so.
come in, jump in.
Okay, we have Gitardi as well, as we are going to have the view of the non-coiner from him.
Hey, guys and girls.
We have George. I don't know if you know this guy, but he's starting to come more
Hi
often.
guys, I'm having fun.
And we also have Water that is going to give us the view of a heavy corner.
Thanks. Stinking corners.
I said heavy. I said heavy, not filthy. Don't get offended. We are having heavy, but I think he's having technical issues, so I'm not sure if he's going to come anytime soon. But let's hope for it. And finally, this humble guy here is going to try to run the slides. So hello everybody. Well, first of all, in like every week we have the new update and let's talk about these bug fixes. I'm not going to read them all, just going to read if some of them are special of interest, unless you guys have something else to say.
No, I'm
So
good.
the first one was well, in the bug fixes, the first one is talking about the engage of the target, and I was a bit surprised because I think that a few weeks ago we got another one, unless I am confused, that was saying something like that. So you couldn't have multiple combat at the same time. So you couldn't hit the base and get hit by someone else, getting a snipe or something like that. Well, at least is the way I translated it.
There was a lot of that going on, but just yesterday I had a buddy of mine that was in a double base battle. He actually attacked the base. He was hitting the base, and when he got out of the base, he had hit the base twice, and autoed it one time, obviously, and leveled it the other one. And the funny thing is in the one that he autoed, he obviously lost, and he lost 33 medals or something. No, 11 medals. No, it was 11 medals, and he had won 22 or something. And they had actually done both calculations for the medals. So I don't know if, and that was after this bug fix, I think. So I don't know if they're trying to fix that. I know that there's been a lot of issues with double battles in the last month or two. So hopefully they're finding their way to correct that, because that's just not good.
On the second one, it's about megaships. Good that we have George here tonight, because to be honest, I am quite a noob about megaships. And it's talking about a warning that will inform players about attempting to engage a megaship. I know that people was complaining about getting warnings as well when they were trying to engage with the megaships. Is the same one, or it's a different one this time?
The one below it is also part of the issue. I think there's like a couple of them bug fixes that they had with the megaships. This one was, excuse me, if you were doing the campaign and you got dead, it wouldn't let you engage, and no one and people were getting confused as to why you couldn't engage. So now they actually have a pop-up that says you're under protection, you can't hit the target. And I think when they put that in there is what caused that other bug of not being able to hit after you'd hit a mega, because you could go in, hit a mega, and get like all of 2 minutes of damage on one of your turrets, and it wouldn't let you engage again. So there was all sorts of funky stuff going on with megas over the last week, and I'm not sure. It might be continuing. I haven't had a chance to play much this week.
Yeah, they've got the last one that they put up there, damage protection. I've noticed with mine, and I hit a lot of mega holes. I've noticed that if you're refitting or you're equipping anything on your boat, if it gets any damage whatsoever, it will not fire again when you come back to kill the bridge. It's just a glitch going on. If you
that's right. Yeah, if you have anything going on, like if you're refitting, it's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to not be able to shoot. But if before, if you were damaged and you healed a little bit and went back into battle, it would shoot until it died again, just like a tower in your base. I did notice, because I tried the campaign and I had prepared for about 20 minutes, went back in, everything that had any damage whatsoever was not firing at all.
Right, and that's with player-to-player battles also. It does that. I put in a ticket on it. I haven't heard anything back.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that is a problem. But anyway,
to the next one.
Yeah, we have. You know what? We have what all here, so he can do the mega thing. I can be quiet in my corner.
Yeah, we have a few here specs on mega. Honestly, as I told you, I already collected all the. Yeah, sorry, I was distracted as well.
Nice choice.
But honestly, I have not yet hit the start build button. I guess I will do once I finish the R&D.
Hit it. I mean, they lowered the requirements so low now. I mean, everybody's gonna have one.
I am 27. I don't have that either. But if they hit it on the past, they were not affecting as well your R&D. They couldn't stop it. So I prefer just getting hit once, not twice.
So the thing is too, they keep They brought this up the last time they had this double fragment weekend, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't affect what you get for the gantry, just for like the
Yes,
siege garrison.
The gantry and
Yeah.
Hyperion shards do not double
All the-
extra.
Yeah,
nothing,
do
no.
not get doubled.
None.
So
Yeah,
not-
and because if you
Orion has
guys
got it.
realize when you are hitting the mega ships for getting at least the mega ship cards, you only get 2, or at least I was only getting 2, and he was on the sector 3 level orange. So it doesn't work with that. So it doesn't work as well with the double drop fragments. It's just for all the foundries parts, but the mega ship.
So, real quick, speaking of where they moved it down to R&D 5, who kind of feels a little cheated here because they went up and beyond to try and get at least R&D 20?
Blue? What?
Honestly, with you, I don't think it is an issue of that, because I remember people starting it without being hitting level 20 on the past. So the only thing that worries me, and Raycon was talking yesterday on the Forsaken Council show, was about. It seems that now it's not just an ending game event, or because they are lowering it too much to the level 5.
Right.
So it just for everybody, I guess. So I would guess that maybe in the future it's going to be more interactive with the game that is right now.
Well, that's what we were saying, when
Yeah.
Raycon was talking, was that they started out saying this was an in-game thing, and it's already progressing into where you're going to need it for something.
Well, that's what the I mean, that's what everyone's afraid of. I don't know yet. I mean, I personally, I don't mind. To 5 might be a little bit low, but who cares? I mean,
Yeah,
so that
because-
people are
could've
engaged.
been
As long
10,
as,
but-
as long as
My
players
worry
are
is if-
engaged, I'm happy.
My worry is for the low levels, because they don't have the tech to keep the constant titanium hunger for that ship.
Well, but that just becomes the new barrier. It's not you have to spend weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks doing R&D. Now it's you have to have a fleet good enough to reliably kill 91s for your fragments. I mean, I guess in theory you could just buy them. I've been getting offers left and right for gantry frags and Hyperion frags because mine aren't done. I don't think it's really cheating though, because R&D has its own intrinsic benefits. The ship and build and repair and refit and the crit chance and all the map speed. No, seriously, all the map speed. And usually people would just do it for those. If you went in really hard on R&D because and only because the mega ship had it as a requirement, I think that you're in the extreme minority. I feel like a lot of people would have been really close to or at or past 20 when megas were out, so it shouldn't matter.
Hey guys,
I
hold
went-
on, hold
okay.
on. I'm gonna drop for a sec, or I'm gonna mute for a sec.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Since we have already clarified that the drop fragments working with the sector yellow and orange just works with the other ones. So if any is getting close to get especially any of those holes, this weekend is the week to push for that. Well, not. So next one. Okay. Just a reminder, it has been said in the last 2 shows we made, last Wednesday, last Friday, and all the other shows also are letting you guys know. Remember that after the next raid on December, we are going to get those Draconian Armadas removed as well. No, they are not. They are going to be there 1 more month, but you should adjust if you haven't yet got the fleet for the raids for these river targets, because remember that they are going to be very tuned and low maybe on damage, but they are going to be very close to the ones you are engaging at right now on this cycle of the raid with the river targets. So make sure that you have your subs ready if you have not yet. I guess that everybody's going to try a sub fleet, at least for the December raid that normally is a hollow store.
I'll be doing Tide Seekers, but yeah.
Well, Tyseekers is not an option. You can try. Moment. But honestly, I I prefer low repairs, and low repairs is like that, using the subs. But well, if you screw up, you can get as much damage doing it with one that with the other. Just I feel that playing with the tie seekers is likely screwing up with the thermal in every single target you drive. But well, that's my opinion.
Mhm.
And I understand that there is people that don't like subs. I like subs. I never got to trouble with them.
Well, I only have at least guaranteed 2 days of the raid, and I just don't have the time to drive the subs.
Okay, let's move to the next one, because this was just a reminder, and I think that in between all the shows it have been already well explained to everybody. Okay, this is the new TLC that came with the Malevolence, and good, we have G-Daddy here, so we will have the nines, because I think those you two are no coiners, so we will see how is it going for you, because I have seen many people getting no problem with this, but all of them were high-ending bases, so they have already a good base setup. So in the first two packs, there are meteor mortars. The meteor mortar, for example, in the first one, for me, it's not a good turret because it's very short range, and nowadays needing the 5 or 6 tiles to prevent getting the center of your island snipe, the range is not enough. You are nearly reaching the tunnel, nothing else. But well, for me, what is interesting of this one is the amount of base parts you get, because honestly, you are going to need a few parts if you can get the price pack 3.
I'm back.
How do you guys feel with this one?
I think the
welcome.
problem with it really is your base parts is actually wasted when you've done first 3 parts to campaign. You just throwing them away.
Yeah, well,
You do stuff
they
in
give
between.
you a week, and you have to make a break in between. I did the first 2 packs. I could have moved to the third one because the base was not damaged, so I could keep going, but I was already full, and I think even using the today Forsaken mission tokens, I think it's going to be Saturday when I can keep going with it, because I was keeping another of the turrets. I think was the other concussive one, the minigun, and it was likely.
It was around 15 days, if I remember right.
No, it's not that there was 15 days, because I just got it to the tier 7, so I could put the transformer, and I wanted the transformer on that one, but I also put the armor, so I started to put that armor that we got that give energy to back, so it was 6 or 7 days using base parts, so I got to steal a few days, but well, I have till Tuesday, so I have no problem. So G-Daddy and U9s, did you got any big trouble with this one?
No.
Go ahead, G-Daddy.
Well, I've only done pack 1 and 2 so far. At the end of pack 2, I had to repair for 12 hours, and I forgot to put my guard back in when I did last wave. So I've got another 12-hour repair to do, and then I'm going to start pack 3.
Okay, what about you, Nines? I'm going to ask the rest, but since these 2 are non-coiners, I wanted to see the perspective, because we have seen all the pages filled with people with videos about how is it going, and most of them are getting between 5 and 15 minutes maybe on repairs.
Brian's a
Well, for
non-coiner
me-
as well also. Sorry, Nines.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. For me, I just used a single Calamity Tideseeker and a Hellwraith, pretty much. Put them out front of my channel, and just sat back and watched everything die. My Seeker was just wiping the channel clean with every shot.
Yeah, that was a good tactic. It seems that these fleets that were attacking didn't have much concussive resistance, because I saw that with 2 tie seekers you could just blow them away.
Yeah.
So how was for? You go ahead.
I used 2 coins, and that was so I could repair my sub and bring in my Tideseeker. But other than that, I didn't take over an hour and a half damage for all of it.
I mean, personally, I was using the Harlock Citadels and just piling them up with the Valiant as a spotter, and they didn't get very far.
The Harlock
could-
Citadel
Yeah.
by itself, I took my Ghost Crawler out and put the Citadel in there, and they never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For me it was amazing because between Apox and the glacial turret with the Harlock Citadel, it was just likely, I don't know, fireworks, because all was blowing in the entrance. That nothing could go past because they were slowing them all. So it was funny. Go ahead, Brian. I think I interrupted you.
That's fine. So I looked at videos and I looked at what people are saying on the various pages. My base is pretty trash. George can confirm if he's here. But what I did was I got a good APOC mortar and a sort of good APOC mortar and my glacial, which is going to get refitted as soon as I'm able to for the splash upgrades, because I saw 2 APOCs and a glacial do a lot of work. And I have kind of outside of my channel, because the way that these AI tend to work is they'll fire at the closest target. Like I'm the 1% that still have their res generators out, so they fire at the res generators and the Great Hall or whatever because of where they come in. They come in like the 2 o'clock. And because I know they come in there, I can position my Tide Seekers, and I have a sort of Valiant, and I have a Harlock Citadel built for FM, but it's there. And they're able to just fire and kill basically everything before they can get very many, if any, shots off. Even on my guard fleet, the one time where I made a mistake was there's one pack where they come from all sides, kind of, and I wasn't paying attention to that. I think I was zoomed in, and they were able to come in and get some of my frontline turrets, but that's okay. Just chunking through and just planning on keeping going. Really, if you have a Tide Seeker, that's great for defense, and the Harlock Citadel as well does a lot of good work. I feel like I'll be able to get through Pies Pack 4, even though my base defense is quite poor.
Yeah, it's not
Because
even
it's
really
something our
base
fleet.
defense. It's mostly I found it was my
Everything,
fleet.
really, I would have thought, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I would have thought it's a bit of everything, really. If you've got good, decent enough turrets and a good base defense, then you can get through this one.
Well, basically, I never
Fleet.
repaired my turrets that were killed. I mean, there was the APOCs in the back, and I did have like a Wendigo and a Glacial, and I have lockdown rockets in some of my ships. So the idea was just to slow them down and just kill them with mortars, is what I was doing. You know, between the lockdown and the Glacial, every once in a while, every prize pack, there was one where they had this scout that probably had a combat speed of about 95 and had some sort of resistance going on. And one would sneak by, but I had a ship in the back that would get them. But I don't know that the turrets were necessarily all that necessary. I mean, they helped, but, having a decent patrol fleet.
Well, mine was
I
because
think
mine was scatterguns.
The tourists helped it. The tourists helped
Well,
it a lot because I honestly can tell you, I put the fleet inside. They didn't shot at all because it was that all by the entrance, so I couldn't do
So
much
the
with that.
thing is, these ships that come in, they will actually target your buildings before your ships. So if you move all your turrets back past where your guard is, fire on your guard, they'll actually try and drive past them and hit your turrets.
Yeah, I noticed actually we were making a beeline for shipyard and dock in most of the waves anyway. And I don't think that the first 2 pack prizey turrets, I don't think they're any good to anybody now anyway.
Yeah,
APOCs are still
APOCs are
amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Epochs are good because they have the range. It's 160 instead of the 125 of the other one. So in the new base layouts, you are needing to prevent things like the Revengers and alike that have that extra range, or anything with the new Gatling guns to be able to hit you. That you get snipe. You guys don't get to snipe it so easily.
And in addition,
The other one is. Go ahead.
okay. In addition, because there's all these different Conqueror fleets, personally, I'll try to work towards an all-around kind of base defense where I have a little bit of everything, more so in the turrets and the guard fleet. And I think that the APOC right now is the best unlimited form of explosive damage. Yeah, there's the cold snap rocket, but you've only got one. If you need a little more, you can put an APOC mortar in the back line.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially because if you just focus on a sort of damage, they are just going to put one of the conquerors that is solid with a solid defense to that sort of damage, and they are just going to neglect all the rest of the ships. So yeah, I think it's the best to go a bit of everything at the moment. At least works for me.
And APOCs make a big jump in defense, especially when you got R15, Pyre, and Zithonite shells on there.
They
All
do.
right. Well,
If you can get
go ahead.
sorry, if you can get past
go ahead.
wave 3, then that maximum gun turret as well will make a good prize instead of being able to get the one in tier 5. If you can't get that, it will also help to keep them APOC mortars firing at the back.
Yeah, I've only read it from the notes, but it mentions that. I mean, I wasn't my mic was working, but somehow my Google Hangouts wasn't working correctly. But in the previous slide, all these encounters are 24 hours, and in the notes, it never happened to me, but in the notes it says that all previous damage that you do to these halls carries over. So if you're a lower level and you do get leveled, you got 24 hours to heal up a couple of times and go after this target again. And all that damage that you did before, at least according to what's in the briefing notes, which also we showed in that previous one, were in a good part
but
wrong.
I think that but I think that maybe were last moment fixes they did to make it easier for low levels to get it if they don't have that high defense. Because if you look at it, it was a 16, they lowered it to 55. I don't know, but most bases on level 55.
Either that or it was a copy and paste from some other TLC that,
Could be a copy and paste, I should say, but I think that maybe it was a last minute adjust to make it more suitable for low levels. Because that gun on the pack 3, I think is going to be quite good for many people to stop things. Don't you think? Those concursive guns?
I think so. We'll get into that a little bit later, but once you get down into the deflection, it gets down to 1560, which really, once a lot of the Conqueror halls are at Bloodthirst, it only really touches about half of them. And I've seen some people say some things on the forums and whatnot where they want to put like 4 of them in their base or start replacing like Deadeye, ballistic type things. I wouldn't go overboard because it's still going to be limited against a lot of these hulls. So
because that's the first. It's not a limited one, but as we were making numbers, in the first numbers, first I saw was that it was likely 3 less times less powerful than the minigun we are using, and with those deflections, as you said. Well, they are going to get the minimum damage through, but I don't know how good it's going to be that win up. Did you guys make the numbers at the end?
I've started doing some things with the numbers, but there's a little bit of uncertainty on how they're calculated, so I didn't really show anything here. But we'll get into that. I'll skip forward to the next couple slides, and we can get into the one that's
moving to the
related
next
to
one.
that. Yeah, well, it's the one after this. I did the Malice first.
Well, this the last 2 packs. Here, as many of you are pointing out, because, well, I didn't have that issue for me. Maybe it was not an issue, but the problem was that these base parts between the first 3 packs, you cannot stack them all. So or you either have to stop or you have to waste a lot of them.
Yeah.
And knowing that not everybody's hitting mines and drag bases to fill up so fast with base parts, maybe it's an attractive price this time.
Yeah, but given the whole TLC, I mean, don't you think that's really honestly, that's probably like the last thing I would complain about, because I mean, it was a
No,
gimme.
it's
You know what I
not
mean?
not to complain. Not to complain that you, because the way the TLC is this is likely for me, or at least I got the same feeling with the tie seeker. No, that it's nearly given it to you.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
going to get some damage,
agreed.
but something that you can sweep.
I think.
Maybe
Listen, I think it
I
was
don't
in
know if
there.
you are going to do free or you
Right.
are going to have low repairs at least.
I think it was in there to allow people that are, on the edge of being able to do this to have the option to change something in their base to help them actually finish the campaign. I think that's the whole theory behind it. Because it's enough to do some changes and add in some stuff, especially after you win, one of the
Because
turrets.
because if you look to these TLCs, we could say that the Vendetta was nearly given to everybody because that campaign was easy. Doing the Apollos, the Malice also is going to be nearly given to everybody. They gave all us tie seekers in the last one, so at least they are making easy for some people to come back into the game, because between the Malice to do the tank for the PvE and this maybe is not the best of the tanks. I don't know yet because I haven't seen videos and I have not been able to use the Malice yet to hit bases, and I like to see. I haven't been investing much time working out if it's
I think
the
you're
best
right.
tank to put on head.
I think it is for. I think you're right. I think it is for people to start coming back into the game. I think they're starting to see some people come back because part of it was this raid cycle was not a popular raid cycle. But I mean, I hopped onto the forums earlier and I'd seen something that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was almost 80,000 in the box on the left, and I know that's covering everybody that's online at the same time. Blah blah blah. But it was actually kind of cool to see it climbing up again. And I'm hoping that they're having some success getting people back and hopefully getting some new players to come in. I know that they are seriously looking at player engagement and player retention and all that stuff. So and I know everyone keeps on going Kixeye coin grab and hate Kixeye and all that crap, but man, if you've been playing since 2011 like some of us, I don't know another time. I don't know another time in the entire game's history that Kixeye as a company has listened as much to the players as they are now.
I've actually seen a couple of posts.
People complaining?
I've seen a couple of posts going. So how does Kixeye make money off of this? This was so easy.
I saw.
You almost never see those ever. And that was great.
Yeah, but you're going always to have people complaining one way or another. It's like that joke of God going into a doctor and making miracles through it. And there is that guy that goes disabling his wheelchair and gets in, and God just goes says, "Okay, now stand up and walk out of here." And he goes out and the other people say, "Well, we were told that there was a new doctor. He always as terrible as the other. He didn't even touch me. The guy is walking, but." It doesn't matter. It is people going to complain no matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just because I don't know how many times I don't know how many times most of us are called chills or whatever.
Yeah,
they mess up. I'm going to say this. They mess up. They're humans, man. They're going to screw up. They do screw up. They've done some stupid stuff. I mean, those sub campaigns were an abysmal. Just that was bad. That sucked. But like this was fantastic. I mean, you can't expect them to be perfect. But I mean,
for something the word, but for something the word hater in the slang of the gaming is there. No, there's going to be people hating stuff no matter what you do.
Okay, can we get back? I think the timer's up on the non-game content.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I threw in here wait to build. Because on the TFC show last night, Rakin mentioned the fact that there's going to be some canon-y type things coming out. Because right now the Arbalist and especially this sounds odd, but especially the specials are very outdated. Like autoloader is heavy. Like the autoloader is 50% of the weapon weight, things of that nature. So unless you're one of the ones that likes to coin and get the newest thing and are a little bit more conservative, and appreciative of your dock time, I might wait on this and not spend that 12-day token, and wait to see what happens in the next raid cycle, because this is sort of making me think also that we're going to. The fact that we got this without a weapon makes me also think that potentially I'm just forecasting. I have no, inside knowledge of this, but that we may be getting the new siege hall and weapon associated with that, because they didn't really. What?
That's what they did last
Yeah,
month.
but-
They put it in the
But,
TLC.
but
I mean,
anyway, we don't have 12-day tokens because it's 1 day, but there are 12, and mostly of us, because people say 30, but I think I'm not 30. I'm past 25. I think it's 27 that I am doing at the moment, and I already have most benefit from refitting that from building. So you can just build the holes and maybe put the specials you think are going to be there no matter what it goes, and just wait for the specials.
But you have a 12-day token.
Yeah.
It's
The
12
tokens-
one days.
Listen. The
No,
tokens
it's
are-
1 day.
tokens
but
are
it's
not-
It's 1 day. It's 1 day per 12, not one.
It's
12 one-day
12
tokens.
days token.
12
Listen,
1
you have
days.
12 one-day tokens.
12.
Okay.
So you can
But they're
just
not going anywhere. So concentrate on what you want to concentrate on, unless you have a plan for this already. I mean, this is one of those things. Don't build it because it's cool and it's new. Build it if you have a plan. As for the weapon, I mean, look, the last time they came out with the Garwood, right? And that was in the top prize pack, and everyone went after it and all that other stuff. And then, we figured out that it's not the best one in terms of DPS. And then when you looked at it, it actually was half of a tier lower than the reciprocator that you got in the FM. We don't know what they're releasing on the new FM after the raid. We have no idea what they're releasing for the raid. It might or might not be big or not. I mean, they are trying to rein in power creep. So if there is something that comes out, it's probably not going to be, if it's better, it's probably not going to be like fantastically super better to make it to throw off, the mechanics again. So holding off and waiting is not that bad of an idea unless you already know you want to do something like make it a blitzer for to spot and taking advantage of the overload effect. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here on this hull that you can do and take advantage of now without having to wait. But don't do it if you don't have a plan. You know what I mean? Like the big base hitters and stuff, they already know what the hell to do with this.
Right. I mean, it's a niche hull. It's another part of the puzzle for one of those bases that you couldn't crack. But
right.
Again, it's a niche hull. You can do most of what you want to do without it at this point.
And it's not like everyone's going to try using it in the FM.
I hope no one does that anymore. I mean,
I mean, the other interesting thing I found about this hull is if you outfit it with all Earthshakers and put on the what's the
crossbow?
What?
Is it the crossbow as well?
Infernal core.
Nuclear accelerator and all Earthshakers with no engine. You're already at 35 combat speed, which is an interesting part of this hull in my mind, because 35 seems decent enough, but you don't need. If you're fine with 35 combat speed, you don't need an engine. If you're going to throw Earthshakers on it and try and tear down walls and buildings and whatnot, and leave the rest of your hull, the rest of your fleet to do something else.
Well, I know a couple of people in our alliance have Earthshaker builds right now, and they've got engines, so it's 53 combat, and they're using them basically as butters.
Yeah. That sounds
As well,
familiar.
you cut up a little
Why
bit.
does that sound familiar? Gee. That sounds very familiar. Anyway.
Are we all?
I gave them the build.
Amazing. Are we all maliced out, or do we want to?
No, I mean, I like it.
To the next one.
I like it, but like it's a
you like it? I found it ugly, especially when you go to the shipyard. That's horrible. That looks like you give it to Kit, I'll be honest, but well, that's my opinion. Okay, let's.
I see that frame. I see that frame.
What were they asking me to do? I mean,
I made that joke too. I made that joke too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just Wow.
I just didn't make it a slide.
You know.
Okay.
So can we skip
Do we need to
talking
talk
about the
about anything
turret and
else,
just start
Bobby?
talking about her special abilities?
Yes. No,
Miniguns.
Overload.
yeah, miniguns. But I don't know about miniguns.
I
But
don't know about miniguns. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are looking at, but
Makes enemy fleets overload
yeah,
prematurely.
the personal issue there, Brian.
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. About
The main thing about the Maxim is compared to the minigun, you have the same DPS before the windup. And the windup is affected by a couple of different things. One, the salvo size. The minigun is 2, and so you're adding that on to the cycle time. It goes from 0.2 to 0.8 as far as an addition to the reload time. The reload time on the minigun is 4 as opposed to 7. So you're dealing with 4.2 versus 7.8. So almost double the reload time. And then it was at 2,500, I think, with the minigun as far as the bonus reload.
Yes.
And the stacks is 100. So basically, the longer this fires, the greater the disparity occurs between this and the minigun. I'm not trashing it by saying that, because the 235 range is
Excellent.
huge.
Yeah,
It's
I like
huge,
that.
and so it has more chance to actually build this up. I mean, if it's a 5-minute base hit, you're probably going the whole time.
Doesn't
Yeah,
that mean
you-
that it's got a mini range though? You know, like where they can get into that range and it doesn't shoot the 90.
Yeah, but when are they going to be outside? When is their whole fleet going to be outside of 235? I see a lot of remote
they're gonna
targeting
base to get in there.
shenanigans, and this will stop
Yeah.
that. Well, not stop it.
Exactly.
I mean,
Punish it.
here's the thing though. We did a couple tests about a month ago on the minigun, and Brian actually did the math, I think, afterwards to match what we saw on the video.
We had like 3 different ways of doing the
Yeah.
math because it was so weird.
It's not nearly as good as it sounds, because when we were testing the gun, we actually put the gun out and just did single hulls. I think Rum Runner came over and sacrificed a few hulls for me, and it was not nearly as impressive as it looked on paper because of the way that it's stacked. And I mean, this will be great as something to to add depth to your base, but I would not expect to throw on 5 of these on your center island and expect to tear up fleets.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of hits today where the defender had them in. I'm not sure what specials he had, but this is getting into that Deadeye Ballista thing where it was missing. I'm not sure how much damage it was doing. It'll take some experimentation, but it was missing by a fair amount.
Really?
Isn't this the total opposite though to the new hull that we've just got? And like the concussive deflection of 6,000, wouldn't that just stop this gun?
Yeah, but this isn't for that. This is for some of the other ones that don't necessarily have concussive.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is if you get this prize and you put it in your base, it's not going to be much good if someone's already won Malice after and come straight in with it, is it?
That depends on the special you put on, doesn't it?
And the angle of attack, and there's a lot of things. I'm just saying this isn't a cure-all, and it does have some faults, like everything they introduce now, which creates game balance and whatnot. I'm just saying, just be aware of that. And
yeah, I think this special, much like the cleavage there, has just adds some depth to everything.
yes, exactly.
I figure I'll put like 1 or 2. I figure I'll put 1 or 2 in.
I'm thinking of removing some ballistas that I have and replacing it, just because the range is the exact same. But that's just because I've got 5 level 6 blunderbusses up front.
Yeah, I really hope that she doesn't think like you do, because I think she should keep both ballistas and just keep on going the way she is.
Hey, I never said she should change up front.
Whatever. Yeah, when I started to install this is the first time I ever ran into a total base power issue. Did anybody else run into that?
I've
Yeah,
been
it
at
takes a
base
level
power
5 turret to even be able to put it on.
No, I'm talking total base, not turret based.
I don't know. I still got like 15,000 or something like that.
I've got plenty of
Seriously?
power as well. Yeah, I've got loads of
Damn.
power.
I'm maxed the hell out.
Yeah,
There's probably half of the turrets
I
level
took over
7.
I took out my overload mechanism off of my OP just because it's over 44, it's like 45 4,500 just for that, the triple salvo. So I took that out in order to put this in.
Interesting.
And I have I forget I don't know what the base is, but I have a lot of the solar panels, the armor that I've thrown on my warehouses and outposts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that overload mechanism is, in my mind, is way over priced as far as the power consumption.
I still got 35,000 power.
Okay, but you're
But do you have many level 7 turrets that you can put that many specials that get that power hunger?
I've got 2 level 7s, a bunch more level 6s now than I used to, but I'm not actually going full level 7s because it'll just mess up the design I'm using currently. If I decide to change my layout, I'll go more level 7s, but for right now, I'll probably go maybe 5 or 6 level 7s total.
But that's the thing, that if you don't get to the level 7, so you can put those specials that are going to push so high your energy needs, you don't have much trouble. I think it's once you get there, especially with the transformers, that it kills you.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 17k power left as well, which isn't a lot really, but it's more than I need at the moment.
Everything off my warehouses because I don't use them in this layout. I have no way of using them.
You want to at least put fire support 2 on your warehouses. If you can have them near turrets anyway.
if he has them out front as a part of his bubble, no reason for it.
Yeah.
But I would put the solar panels on there to get at least the 50 extra power per. But it's. I'm gonna probably put 1, maybe 2 in my base, just because that range is going to irk people that try and do bad things, and I might put priority targeting on one of them.
Oh, there you go now. Now you're getting it.
And the other one, I'll go with advanced concussive and eruption pyre to make sure that they hit. But the other one, I'll probably go with priority and advanced concussive because of the the splash and the concussive damage boosts. If I build 2, because I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're still not sure how many you're gonna put in. I'm still not sure how many to put in. I have 1 building right now, and that's it.
I think with range, it could be like 2 or 3 maybe to cover your channel, cover sides, whatever you want to protect at the time, really, depending on your base design.
I'm not putting them in for that at all. That is not what mine are going in for.
Just long range, I was thinking before they even get in your channel, they'd be getting shot at least, wouldn't they?
I think that they are going more to kill vendettas, or they will try to kill the vendettas that go around the base.
Who puts?
And for that is what they put the smart heads and stuff like that.
Yeah, who puts armor on their vendettas? I mean, you'll have some if you have the coax on it, and that might throw off, what you're doing. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's again, it's one of those things that gives some depth.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the word of the day.
It adds another little bit to the puzzle to base designs, I would have thought as well. Something to put in your toolbox.
I think, like I said, I think a lot of the stuff that they're designing now is coming out, and it seems that they're trying to not push power creep month to month like they used to. I think it's more of a progression, an even keeled progression, as opposed to leaps and bounds, which
It
is a nice change.
it's gradually going uphill rather than beating us in the head with a shovel.
Yeah, which is also fun, but you know.
No,
Are we done with this one, or should we move on?
Yeah, move on because I think they are getting distracted.
I am still distracted. Yeah, I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Yeah, your
Okay.
last comments were not curated, so I guess that you.
Okay. This is just a quick, like, little heads up thing that I put together because we know that after 7 weeks from now, we're going to be dealing with the siege raid.
Well, we're not 100% sure, but if they stick to the plan that they announced a couple months ago, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Doom was on the forums and had said something like that. I'd taken it to mean that definitely.
He said it several times.
Oh, so he
No.
actually did he actually make it official? Because I know the
I don't know if he said it official, but I've seen it
Yeah.
multiple times from Kicksai employees that siege is next and then garrison follows. I'm more believing the siege is next. I don't know that the garrison is following that, but this is just sort of like a low impact thing to do. If you guys aren't, don't have something that you need to do in your retrofit lab right now, I was just trying to figure out a way to like sort of prioritize, because we don't know what's going to happen. It was just sort of a guesstimate as far as like a rough estimate, a rough way to look at, what can I do in my retrofit lab?
Yeah, these things are items that you should probably start retrofitting now, so that way, for if it indeed is siege, it typically is ballistics oriented. It was last time, I guess, and it's typically it's ballistic and radioactive damage, is it not?
Correct.
Yeah. So
Except for the dub, which also includes explosive, but that's something we don't know yet.
There's gonna be mortars. I mean, I cannot foresee them not putting mortars in.
Or maybe plasma.
But I'll say this: the defense systems there, the radiation armors, ballistic armors. I mean, all that stuff all adds up. I don't know about radiation systems. I don't know if I'd put it. I mean, that's not in any particular order, is it? Is it?
Well, no. That's radiation systems is your reflective coating, which is evade and radiation.
Okay. Well,
And I will say this for the guys that started their upgrades on any of these. Don't take them all to R15 at the same time. Get them up to a level, because once you start getting into the higher levels, you don't get the same percentages, but as much advancement as you can make in them, you're getting 1% or better each time you go up. But once you get to the higher levels, go to then back to what you were doing.
That's a good point. At R10,
I think he's actually covered that there. Look, it says R15, R15, R11, R6.
No, that's just what he grabbed off of his game, I think. But
when you
hit R10,
this is just what I have. Yeah. But I would go personally, if you're at R0 with all of them, I would take the first 5 in order and take them all to R5 across the board, and then start again with railguns, take those to R10 across the way, and then start again at railguns again, and then take them to R15, and then start dealing with these last 3. Because these last 3 are a little bit tricky, because we don't know what we're going to get as far as a hall, our new siege hall.
Personally, I like the 4 that you have on the right are probably the ones that I would start with, just because I'm far more defense oriented, and that ballistic defense armor is very cheap to get up, and you can always use the D1Xs to just top off.
I mean, the only issue with the ballistic defense armor is that we have defense systems, which you can add 82% to your resistance against ballistic, but you don't have a counter for radiation. That's why the ballistic, basically, I think most of the builds are going to have a layered special and then radiation armor.
Why? Yeah. Why don't you use the alloy defense?
I mean, in practice, it's really going to depend on the inherent resistances of the hull that we're given, and the percentage of damage by type in the actual targets, and we can't really know that. Personally, I try to get them about both really high, obviously, but also about the same. So something like if the Centurion had about equal, I think I can look it up. But if we have something that's about equal in the inherent defenses, then ballistic and radio are 50 on the Centurion. Then I would just go for allo defense, the CL,
Yeah, the
and
CL.
just go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Anyone cares?
GS
Right, they
definitely.
released that one as well.
Is the allo defense in? I mean, is CL in the retro lab though? That's the question.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you
yeah, it
only
is.
get ballistic defense because it didn't have a stat for radioactive defense. It's the same as
Really?
the CM, the CX, the MX. When you add up all of those, you also get the bonus on the CL, but only ballistic defense.
Oh, someone needs to remind me of that. Okay.
Anyone care to toss me their CL3 then?
I don't know.
I can look it up. It's 56% each max, just like the rest of the lot. But the radioactive.
No. I've got CL2. I just don't have CL3.
Yeah, you can have mine.
Sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised that they released that on the raid. Last time that they put a few specials over there.
Right. I mean, they've been, like I said, they've been pretty good at planning stuff out. I mean, they're trying. They didn't choose all that well with the sub raid, I guess, because obviously people did not like it. But I had fun with it. I enjoyed all of them so far. I mean, I like the first one better than any of them so far, actually.
That
Can I just ask you why shielded tactical system as well, LFA?
Oh, I threw that in there because if you look at the mining platforms, they have their version of a glacial or a Wendigo in there, which lowers your resistances and your speed and your reload and all those sorts of things, and that would reduce the impact of that.
Right, cool.
But it's very difficult. Why I put it last. But currently, it's very difficult to implement that on a ballistic hull because of how heavy ballistic hulls get and how many specials it takes to get a ballistic hull to be good. Because unless you're using cannon system, what are they at? 4 now? 3 now. 3 now. Yeah. If they come up with a cannon system 4 or 5, whatever the next step is, which I'm sort of hoping they do, that would be a fun little addition. It's just when I try to build things that I think would be good for a siege target, it always seems to get pushed out. And more my idea was potentially to use something like an Aegis or something like that to get rid of those fields, or a Frosty, or something like that eats up those ice patches, which are also called fire fields for some unknown reason. But yeah, that's why I threw that in there, and I threw it in at the end just due to the level of uncertainty associated with it.
Right. Okay, I just wondered. Cheers.
Last Friday, I reversed the numbers on radio plate 1 through 4 as far as deflection versus pass through.
But you caught it right away.
But I didn't want to talk about it. So I wanted to make the correction and then talk about it a little bit more. Because if you take a look at the numbers, the pass-through remains consistent throughout. It's 1,300, but the deflection goes from 2,000 to 5,000. So anybody that gets the bright idea, okay, I got plenty of spots, I'm going to put radio plate 1 and 2 on there, and I'll be tricky. You're just merely going to be taking twice as much damage as if you put radio plate 4 on there. And the other thing that's interesting is how they treated the Valiant versus these armor plates.
Just what is the pass through?
That's how much damage you're going to take. That's how much if
Minimum basically.
Minimum damage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a 5,000 shot that you're getting on radioactive plate 1, you're going to get, it's going to be 3,000. I mean, but when you get up to like radio plate 4, it's only going to let 1,300 through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I thought it
That
was.
was a very
Yeah.
poor example. I apologize.
No, but I know
Like
what you
that.
mean. I know what you mean.
No, but he means that if you put, for example, 2 radio plates, 2 that gave you 6,000, the pass-through is so nearly the double of the putting just 1 plate 5. You would think that you are better protected because you have 6,000 deflection, but actually the pass-through is nearly double, so you are getting more damage. That's what he's trying to say.
If you look at it, the armor nowadays, they seem to be wanting you to put on the bigger armor because we've all been using no armor for so long. They just want more repair time off of us, I think.
Well, the bigger
and that's
armor
what
A
the-
has a
I mean,
same
that-
repair efficiency, and B will typically give you deflection or more deflection, which reduces the damage that you take from most shots, anyways. It's lower repair. It just feels a roundabout way of doing it.
Yeah, and G Daddy, this isn't something. The pass-through numbers aren't something they're publishing, so it's not like they're telling you to do these things to put on radio plate 4. They're, the pass-through is invisible to people.
It's like subliminal, isn't it? It's like saying, look, if you use this, then you're gonna get it.
Can I actually interject some information that I forgot? Heffa, you actually asked me to find out about this.
Okay.
Res battery and res capacitor does in fact boost what we were talking about. It does boost the corrosive as well. It just didn't get picked up when they did the data pull. It's actually in there. It's just in another part because it's added on.
Okay. So he talked to the
It is working.
the server engineer.
You could say that, yes.
Back to what Brian was saying earlier.
Indirectly, how's that?
But getting back to that though, I was going to say that radio plate 4 is the one that I do agree to use anyway because of the 5,000 deflection.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say.
Okay. We can agree on that one. Well, I'm starting to do the Thanksgiving thing here. This is our breakthrough.
Nice.
This is tomorrow morning. She's starting up something to starting up Thanksgiving
I'm
dinner.
scared. She's going to get a burn on that skin.
That's a lot of fire. I don't know if I trust that amount of fire.
Hefe, I actually have to agree. Like, this is an actually good week for
be a hot pack.
pictures, man. You actually didn't. That was good. I like all of them so far.
If only every woman I ever saw with hair curlers looked like that.
Yeah. Well, except for your mom, Nines, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why you're looking at her freaking top of her head. Really? What the hell, man?
Yeah, I think he's having a trouble. We will have to go to the psychology after that.
So,
Nines.
so everybody else, did they find the? Besides other breakthroughs, did everybody found the TLC very entertaining?
Are we talking about breakthroughs?
Well, that's what it says at the top.
Oh, there's words there. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
There's words on left as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I even used the words.
Spelt them right as well.
Yeah.
I'm having too much fun with this. All right, go ahead.
It's entertaining to see ships like lag into existence and then explode and die, I guess.
Yeah. I liked watching my base kick their ass. That's what I liked. But there's one thing I really want to know: are the Reavers or are the Draconians or are the Reave Draconian?
I think they mean that is good for your ego, and you say, "Oh my goodness, I have such a base. Look at that. They are both blowing about you."
Yeah. No.
No.
Oh my God! I had a level 93 come at me this morning with 3 Sits, a Nova Storm, and a Viper Interdictor.
He thought he was doing his
He must have, or he's like this. He's like, oh, no tag R&D. This guy's a scrub and free something or other. Rod. I'm like, my base is shit, but come on.
I'll tell you what's funny is after everybody went through this this TLC, it was like, okay, come hit my base. I can handle it.
Not a problem.
And then it went south, right?
Well, you guys got to remember this is.
I think. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, you guys got to remember this is the first time G Daddy's base has actually beat something.
Yes.
He's absolutely right, though.
But I was saying the TLC was a little bit like her, and that they were both sort of eye candy to watch. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I'm not sure about
And,
G-Daddy.
and
I don't know
Reavers.
if I can agree with that.
Reavers so fire.
Was she's not eye candy, or the raid wasn't eye candy?
No,
Or
I
the
can't.
TLC.
I can't draw anything from the TLC to that. That's just gorgeous. Damn.
I would say that it's taking Reaver weaponry to kill Reaver Draconian ships. Like the
I think
Epic
I am curious. Did anybody notice that the very last one on number 7 of Price Pack 4, I think, is that what it was? Those things had some sort of overload mechanism that we have not seen before, or at least the color was different than any other overload mechanism that we've
Show
had in
off.
the
I've
game.
only done pack 2.
yeah, I'm not
Get to
sure
it.
yet.
What are you waiting for? Even
The
nine.
base to repair.
No, probably he's waiting likely most that didn't expect the DLC this week or giving base parts. They have something that is running on keeping or upgrading on those turrets. So if not any building, and you find that after doing the first 2 packs, you are nearly full because how much is 900? I think is the top you can have. But the
Yeah,
problem you have
That's
is
why I
that
said. That's why I said that. I think they put.
913,000.
Yeah, I think that's why they put the base parts in there. I think it is more for the people that. Would
It's actually put a spanner in my works though, because I've got
No, it's
8
not-
days.
I don't see a problem with the game giving us
Well,
much. A problem is that the way they are not being able to overstack. If you
I've
run
got 8
pack
days
3 before
now.
spending pack 1 and 2, you are wasting the last pack.
do your FM and get the tokens and finish it off.
Yeah,
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 because
I'm
it
doing
depends
that.
on
You got
how many
Biscuit
days you
plenty
got
of
when
time
they
to
started
do
on
the
Tuesday.
What?
Because
What
your
I'm
plans
gonna say
today
is
is
I've got 8. What I'm going to say is I've got 8 days and 7 hours left. So even if I do my FM twice, which I have already done one of
Only
them,
4 days. Yeah.
it's only 4 days off. So it's not enough to get
Why are
through.
you loading up your turrets like that?
Because I've no else to do with them until TLC this one.
Always, just like ship builds, always just put the minimal that you need each time. That way you can free it up if you have to. Because you never know what they're going to come out with. Ever. So, better safe than sorry. That is I just... Okay, you got to change this slide because I'm just distracted.
Yeah, move to the next one because he's getting less accurate the more we go through the
I
pages.
cannot articulate anymore. I think Hefe stepped away for a minute for,
yeah.
I think he was enjoying that picture as well. So,
Cheeky.
It's been wondered what they actually are, and I'm thinking whether it's Reavers or Draconians. I'm thinking in the war zones how we beat them both, and they're really mad at us. They're both like, you know what? An enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's go get him.
that
Yeah,
was...
I don't think it's going to be long before it's going to be 3 or 4 against 1. To be honest.
That one's just a little bit too skinny.
Scourge,
Yeah,
Legion,
it'll
Draconian.
just be a
This
foursome.
is the only one that
Well, it's a screw up, George.
okay, fine.
Yeah, I think
that's a screw up.
I think she's asking for somebody to take the feathers off.
Yeah, I mean, because I had to do Thanksgiving last Friday, so I'm running out of Thanksgiving hot girl pics.
I mean, there's the obvious shake your tail feather in there.
Yes, that's true. But I mean, the actual text associated with it.
It's not. I mean, does it really matter? Like, technically you're losing 400,000 base parts, but if you're at the point where you should just be able to go out and hit some. Maybe not the best, but it doesn't seem like that big a deal. I'd take dumping 2, 5, and 6, so that's 13 years. Yeah, about 400,000 base parts into the sea to get a Malice. That sounds good.
I'm gonna start calling friggin'
Tito, why do you keep unmuting me?
Are you
Because you're
looking at
blowing on your mic.
Yeah,
It's like you were coming running and now you're breathing to get all
your
the...
mic is picking up your breathing, man. You sound like Trump or a bad version of Vader.
Either that or
Yeah,
you're doing
fair.
something we don't want to hear.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that too. I mean,
I stopped breathing hours
I'm-
ago. But
that's a neat trick.
yeah, whatever. I still talk.
Not to say what you put these pictures and you start to to breathe that way, what is this panel going to think about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know that that's a screw up. I mean, I don't know.
No,
If you really have to pick on something on the TLC, I guess you could do that, but damn, this is
No. I mean, the only reason I brought this up was the fact that we don't, once they got rid of the whip, we don't know what's happening. I mean, if we got a little clue that this was going to occur, I would never put it out. But the fact that the whip is gone or not, there's no calendar, there's nothing to know what's upcoming. That's the only reason I put it out there. I mean, bring back the whip and say, oh, we're going to have this, and give us a clue that something like that's going to happen. Because a lot of these builds, like how long does it build for a Deadeye Executioner?
15 days, give or take.
Yeah. So, okay, you got 13 days, and you max that on base parts. You still can't get the base parts from all the base parts from this TLC, because even if you burn a week, with base parts,
you just presented a catch-22 because you're essentially complaining about this, but then complaining that the whip is gone, and the whip is gone because people would complain about shit like this.
No, because people wanted the structure. People want the structure. People wanted the structure of like, okay, this is going to happen. This is what we should expect, and that was in the whip. I mean, I never complained about the whip because why? I was banned from the forums, but this is something like a calendar or something like that. Some sort of knowledge as far as what's upcoming would really be helpful in my mind.
So essentially what you're trying to do is go the roundabout way about asking for the whip back. I agree. I'd love the whip back. Bring back the whip.
With the whip,
I'm pro
you
whip.
wouldn't have expected this because the whip was saying there was a TLC that wasn't giving you the prices from the TLC.
Well, I mean,
so
look,
the stars will have surprised you.
If they bring the whip back, what are they going to? They're not going to give you a date because that's what everyone started bitching and moaning about, crying about. So what they'll do if they bring it back is go, hey, this month we're going to have a TLC at some point. What's that going to help you? Because you're not going to know the date.
Well,
they can't say they're not going to put in dates because, damn it, every time they put in dates, it fucking backfires on them.
Well, I'll also go back and say that with the put out, they would sometimes mention things that were coming, and then come back and say, oh, we ran into issues in coding or whatever, and this is not coming, and that's where their biggest bitches came in. From the players is when they mention something, and this may not be here till next year.
Okay, so unless you're working at McDonald's, hold on. Unless you're working at McDonald's and you've actually worked in like any sort of corporation or company or law firm or anything like that, shit happens. Okay, if you're gonna not allow them to go, hey, we're planning. Okay, look, we're planning on bringing out the Phantom. What the hell was the damn
Hellwraith?
Hellwraith. Thank you. When they did that, everyone flipped their shit when it didn't come out. Okay, because they had some issues with it. Well, damn. I mean, look. If they had released the Tideseeker when they first came up with that one, I'm sure it wasn't last month, but I'm sure that they had a whole lot of problems trying to code that crap because of all the weird shit that it does. So what would have happened if they said, hey, you know what? We're going to come out with this thing right here, and it's going to do this, and this, and then, oh, hell, we can't get it to work. All right? So what do you want them to do? Do you want them to not say that?
As a community, we've always said that if they don't get it right, don't bring it out. That's what we've always said.
That's what most of the community does. But when it really happens, everyone starts bitching when it doesn't come out. That's why the whip doesn't exist anymore.
Feel like we're lied to. That's why. That's probably why.
But all the whips.
You just cause a catch-22. Well, we would like to know. However, we understand that it doesn't happen. I'd rather not have it if it's not working right. Okay. Which happened with the Phantom. That happened with the Phantom Hellwraith. It wasn't working right. They didn't let it out. Now they actually came out and said that it's not working right. We're having some problems. It's not coming out right now, and everyone lost their fucking minds.
But you got to remember, in this game, we've got a diversity of players from 17-year-old stoners to the 50-year-old drunk sitting in his freaking basement
That's
to doctors.
ageist.
And it is so funny because you can tell by their language and the way they approach problems.
Hold on. Did Brian
It's
just say that's
that's the
ageist?
dude that's fucked up in his basement.
Yes, I did.
I just said that was ageist. That's all.
You're just lumping all the 17-year-olds in the Stone account. And I mean, I'm from California, so that's probably going to be happening now pretty soon if it hasn't already. Dear God.
Okay, 17-year-old rainbow wearing stoners sitting in with pink bedspreads. Love you, Brian.
No, keep going. Just piss everyone off all at once or at it. Just like take all the adjectives and just put it in front. 17-year-old, everything in the middle. Just go.
Okay,
because
just say 17-year-old
Hillary supporters and stuff. I mean, half the people right there will be pissed off.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
God.
I'm assuming that was somehow related to the Jeff Sessions potential nomination to the. Nobody follows it.
So the thing about the whip, every
I
whip, they
was
always
born and
say,
raised in Alabama.
Yeah,
always say on the whip
but that whole
subject to-
comment about the KKK was okay until I realized they smoked weed. That's
yeah, that's what did it. Clearly.
yeah. A lot of
So-
people in America are gonna have a problem with that one.
So the whip always contained, these are subject to change. And I don't know whether people didn't read them at all and were completely illiterate, or
they
just
just
had
skipped
the
that
glorious
last part.
gift of literacy and didn't use it, which is a big shame. And I work at a library, so, literacy is kind of a big thing. I feel like it's pretty important. And you're not using this gift that you are given. And there are so many people the world round that just don't have the functioning schools and such literacy. You have a gift. You have a gift in the form of literacy, and you are choosing to just blatantly set it aside and let it gather dust. You are the worst. Fuck you.
The thing about
Brian,
the one that they,
I never heard that.
Brian, I know that girl. Brian, I know that girl. She can't read. Is that okay with you?
I would gladly teach her how to read.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
my
so much optimized from you thinking that people read the forums. I think that most of the time they just listen somebody in the Alliance or on the sector chat saying this is coming, and then they just expecting it.
It's fair
I'm
that
just-
not
I'm
everybody
look- I'm
goes
just-
to the forums, but there are plenty that do and just post the garbage anyways. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Joe, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, everyone wants to. Like, I'm hearing a lot of people want the whip back, and I'm just telling you right now, that whip is not coming back until people pull their heads out of their asses. Because honest to God,
The whip was taken.
the Phantom Hellwraith is the actual epitome of the reason why we don't have the damn whip anymore. Because they said exactly why it didn't come out. Everyone still lost their shit and went, "You guys lied to us." Fuck no, they didn't lie to you. They actually were honest and transparent and told you, and you guys still want to bitch and moan about it. That's why the whip's gone.
They're taking the game too seriously, and this is from someone who doesn't spend money, casually plays, but devotes free time to the game.
17-year-old in his basement.
You forgot, what the hell was that, Vader? Terminator. Who was that? We have a special guest on the show, and makes more complicated spreadsheets than you have ever used or will ever need in your entire life, and just uses more math than you ever will. Like I'm saying that you're taking this too seriously, and you need to chill. So
don't
maybe
fuck with Brian. He'll open the other door.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to.
Brian actually has done some crazy ass friggin' spreadsheets and math. Like I have come up with some very odd requests sometimes when I'm trying to track down something, and if
then I
he's
yell at
telling
you,
you
and then
if
you
he's telling you that you're taking this too seriously, yeah, there's an issue because he takes this shit kind of seriously himself.
I thought. Wait,
It's
I thought
gonna be okay. Just wait. It'll come out when it comes out. Just chill and find something else to do with that time.
Netflix and chill with yourself. There you go.
Yeah,
I think a lot of them do anyways, but they're getting bored of that.
I thought that
I'm glad
the whip
someone
was
caught
taken
that.
down. I thought the whip was taken down for every one of those little douchebags that spelled nice with an O and have hairy palms.
Yeah, and anyway,
I'm sorry, I was back. I was took a break for 30 seconds. Was that aimed at me?
No, you just missed everything catching fire. It's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's good. But
Just watch it on playback.
We're
Fix
at-
it in post.
Do we
already
have
20 past
Do we have
now.
anything? Yeah, well, that's what I was going to get into. Do we? Anybody have anything like constructive for the community to hear at this point in time?
I think
yeah,
I think
Ladal
it's
might
good
have
that
a
they made.
banjo. Aha!
I miss
Nah.
it. But go ahead, Brian.
I think it's good that this TLC is as quote unquote easy it is. I've only done till 2. I'll do probably 3 and maybe 4 tonight. But I think it's good. It helps boost the community's self-esteem when something is unexpectedly easy, and that's definitely a good way to garner favor and to help players feel more relevant again. See also George's points. good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, I liked it because it was entertaining. Because it was like you saw like like 1,000 Reaver scouts trying to come into your base, and then they were all just getting like just obliterated. It was amusing because it was like at that point you were anxious, like they're gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
And then boom, you blew them up. It was entertaining. I don't know if it was like good gameplay or whatnot, but it was entertaining to watch. It was eye candy. Like I tried to say that before, but George didn't like me calling it eye candy.
No, she's eye candy. That wasn't eye candy. That was just anyway. I do want to add for a lot of people that are lower level or are struggling with this and think that they can't do it because they don't have this or that. Ren on TFC, and I think he post it on Crib too. I think he might have. He has a video. He has a video of doing
Of her?
the first 2 TLCs. The first 2 prize packs of the TLC, I think it's the first 2 with lower level tech.
I've seen
right.
one. I don't know if there were 2 out, but I've actually seen one.
There's definitely one. I mean, so if you guys are watching this and going, "You bastards, I can't do it," da 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 da. We actually have had someone try and do it the other way, so there is reference. There's a reference point for you to find and hopefully help you.
Not just for low
Also
level,
remember that
not
here's
just for
my
low level
secret.
players, but for non-coiners as well. Just remember that the remote targeting hulls now of the DNX can still do this kind of raid, this kind of TLC as well.
I don't know that you can actually say non-coiners because I mean I literally Brian's a non-coiner. I only coin for raids. I mean I spend $10 or less a month.
Well, look at what he's done. He's on pack 2, same as me. I'm a non-coiner. What have you done? Pack 4.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
I mean,
I
I'm only
will say-
waiting
But
because
the thing is the first,
Gotta
when we got the
re-equip
first when we got the Hallock Citadel, you got to understand. I immediately stopped everything and built that thing because
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you keep saying low levels. I'm not a low level. I'm level 91. That's not a low level. I'm just a non-coiner.
I think it's more of
but the
a
thing about-
tech bracket, low
tech.
base defense tech.
Low
I guess
tech.
you could say.
I'd say, yeah, low tech.
Another thing about it is drive your ass off in this raid.
Yes, do that.
See, you can take a rapid firing anything and drive it all up to the front corner behind your walls and blow most of this stuff out of the water if you drive.
People
Yeah,
are having fun with
You can also hide a
They-
sub as well outside your channel and kill them coming in.
Yeah,
Well,
the enemy
Nines-
will target
hold
the
on,
closest thing, and that's
Nines used a Tide Seeker and a Hellwraith behind it. Is that what you did?
Yeah,
I mean, there's
Hellwraith
options.
picked off
There's a lot of
anything that went
options.
through.
There's a bunch of options. I mean, I'm just saying that if there are people watching this and going, you pricks, I can't do it or it's impossible. I mean, I don't give up. I think this was designed, at least the first couple prize packs, to be done.
I think
If
this
I
is a
remember right,
surprise
he used,
to everybody.
If I remember right,
Yeah,
he used Rhino, drones, and enforcers. None of it had rank on it, and he still beat the first 2 prize packs very easily.
I think this is a
yeah, maybe
surprise
he's
to everybody.
going to have issues once he deal with those spites. But so far, he's going to be good.
Yeah. So
I just think this is a surprise to everyone because most people nowadays aren't running a guard. Then we are running a guard. Then we aren't running a guard. Then we are running a guard. So it's like, is your base ready for this? If it is, do it. If it ain't, don't.
Now, I could say something against that. When I was originally hitting bases for a while, and all the base hits my alliance does and everything, I see maybe 1 in about 15 people actually not running a guard. It seems nowadays everyone's running a guard.
That's what I'm saying.
I haven't run into a base that doesn't have a guard in months.
Well, that's what I just says. We are, we're not. We are, we're not. We are, we're not. So now we are.
All right. I think that was the end
People
of,
must be now.
Yeah.
The main issue if you don't run a war nowadays is that they get inside with those subs with the Cobra scatter guns and they just demolish your base. So it's no point.
Mm-hmm.
You always need a spotter.
Yeah,
okay.
but-
I think. Does anybody else have anything useful for the community? Because I haven't heard anything in the last 3 minutes.
No, I'm out.
Not to be an asshole, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you asshole. I think you can fucking call it now. How's that?
Well, Tito muted me. I guess Tito has something to say.
Yeah, because if you don't have something constructive to say,
Oh,
you don't need to talk.
Jesus.
If you've got any questions on the mega halls and all the updates on those, go to the mega hall page, post it up. I've been questions that I could, and we'll work on that from there.
Yes, you can post suggestions there, or on the crib page, or on the TFC page, or God forbid you can fill up my email some more. We actually are looking at that, and we're passing it along. I actually, we passed along a couple things this evening, actually, for the team to take a look at some of the glitches that, like one of them, what I brought up earlier in the pre-show, and that got passed along during the show, actually. So.
And anything that is posted on any of the 3 pages, TFC, BP Cribs, or BV Show, I will always try to post whatever information I think is relevant to anybody that could help.
So yeah, so don't
Okay.
feel free to contact everybody, man. Get active on the pages. It's just going to help everybody out in the long run.
Okay. I think we're running down. We're going to run the after show at this point. Feel welcome to join us.
Bill Fruck,
I don't know.
We're gonna go.
I thought he was about to cuss something fierce or something.
No. We're gonna compare gravy recipes and things of that nature. So if you're interested
and
in
turkey
gravy,
breast.
Some might be tossing pancakes.
yeah.
You're the
No,
one that's going to be tossed.
we're mostly gonna be dealing with gravy recipes because people don't understand the difference between a roux. There's different things that this community doesn't
Who
understand.
confuses a roux with a gravy? Are you shitting me?
No. There's different. You can make a gravy with a slurry or a
So
roux.
anyway,
There's multiple ways to do it.
We're
Multiple
done
ways
here.
to do it.
Yeah,
And we're gonna go in depth after the show to help everybody with their Thanksgiving issues. Just so you know, George, that's what we're
Okay.
gonna do.
I feel like a lot of people's Thanksgiving issues would not be solved through better gravy.
No, but certainly through drinking.
And
Whatever.
Next
Yeah.
week, I'll
Right,
tell
Jeff?
everybody what the hell means.
Alrighty then, everybody. Well, I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and you're welcome to join us on the after show. And what was somebody else have something useful to say?
No, have a
Just-
good
I
night.
think
Happy
we did.
Thanksgiving.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.